Hello, everybody. This is Young Family Taiji, Section 2. And today we are going to do some review. We're going to practice up to what we learned last week, which was needle to see bottom. Today, I'm hoping to get 2 moves in. I want to do fan through the back and turn body chop with fist. Okay, so I'm going to spend more time on the second one because I think it's more complicated than the fan through the back. So why don't we start? I'm going to turn around and we're going to go through from cross hands to needle to see bottom. Okay?
I lost my picture of you. Here you are.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we're starting at cross hands. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Shift your weight to the right. Turn the left foot past the corner. Shift your weight back, separate your hands. Pull in the right foot, swing, step. Brush, strike, roll back, circle your arms as you shift your weight back, turn to the side, press, pull in the right, attach the left, and press forward. Push, square up your shoulders, flatten your hands, come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest, and push up to shoulder level. Fist under elbow, shift back, pull and turn. Left foot goes to 12, right foot goes to 12 o'clock. Press down, release the left foot. Ward off with the left, push out with the right. Step to the corner, ward off with the left. Step, grab, pull. Make your fist, pivot on the left foot, change your footwork, lift up and punch. Repulse monkey. 1, swing, step, hand to the shoulder, turn and strike. 2, swing, step, hand to the shoulder, turn and strike. 3, swing, step, hand to the shoulder, turn and strike. Diagonal flying, turn, pull in the right foot, step and close, open and turn your left foot to the 12 o'clock. Raise hands and step forward, shift to the right, pull back, circle your arms, root your right foot, and close. White crane spreads its wings. Turn your hands, pull down, shift your weight all the way to the back. Circle your arms, step and close, turn, step and open your wings. Left brush knee. Turn your hands, swing, step, brush, strike, needle at sea bottom, yield forward, pull in the right foot, come back, push off the heel of your left foot, change your footwork and sink down. How did that go?
Good.
Good. So let me do a quick review of the 2 moves we did last week, which were raise hands and step forward and needle to see bottom. So from diagonal flying, the way the transition works to raise hands and step forward is you shift your weight to the right so that your left foot can step behind. And you circle your arms, you push off the ball of the right foot, root the heel, and come together. So the last time you did raise hands, you came from single whip. And from here, what you did was you shifted weight to the right, you turned your left foot to the corner, and then you pushed off the ball of the right, circled, root the heel, and come together. So the end part is the same. It's just that you're coming from here. So instead of, because your right foot is already forward, you're going to move your left foot behind, push off the ball of the right, root the heel, and then come together. So the only difference is instead of turning the left foot to the corner, you move the left foot kind of behind the right foot. But you still do this circle motion and come together. So if I'm facing you, it looks like this. I come forward, move behind, push off the ball, root the heel, come together. So I root the heel first before I come together. Okay? So that's pretty much a repeat move. And white crane and left brush knee, you already know from the first section. So needle at C bottom is what you do in the second and third section instead of a handstrum salute, okay? Handstrum salute is only in the first section. So here, instead of handstrum salute, what you're going to do is needle at C bottom. And you yield forward, you pull in the right foot, then you push off the heel of the left foot as you pull back. You see that? You're pulling back, and you change your footwork, and then you sink. Now, the important thing to remember is this is a low ball touch empty stance. So that means that you have 70% of your weight in the back. This is like a one-legged squat in essence. So the reason I emphasize that is that when you're here and you come in, what often happens is that because you're coming forward, people have a tendency to shift their weight forward also. And then what happens is you're no longer in an empty stance, right? Your weight is here instead of back here. You see what I'm saying? So think about your waist being over your foot as you come down. And be careful, don't go too far down if your knee collapses, okay? Make sure that your knee lines up with your toe, because once your knee tends to come in, then you are really going to twist your knee. So don't do that. It is better just to have like an empty stance. Think of a ball touch empty stance and just, you know, you don't have to go very far down. The idea is it's an empty stance and your hand comes forward. So here, you can see from the side. You see, I don't have to go very low. I want to make sure my alignment is right. That's the most important part. Okay? And the other thing is people think they should go low. And that causes two problems. One is they tend to wrench their knee by pulling it in. The other thing they do is they bend their back, okay? I want your back to stay pretty straight. And your head, even though you can't keep it straight up in the same way as you do like when you're doing raised hands, I do want it to be fairly straight relative to your spine. So when you're coming down, I want you to look, like 20 feet ahead toward the floor, okay? But then but you can see my head is still relatively straight relative to my back. So I do not want you to go down here, okay? That's not the point. The point is that you want to keep your structure. You are bending from your hip crease and you are squatting with your legs. So the most important thing is it's an empty stance. It's ball touch. So however low you go is how low you go. But when you're coming down, you want to have this kind of waterfall look here in terms of the shape of the hand. And you're going to just come down as far as you can. Okay? So next is fan through the back. So usually, or when I learned fan through the back with needle to see bottom. So if you look at the two together, okay, if you're from left brush knee and you're doing needle to see bottom, okay, fan through the back looks like this. You start coming up. So this is one of the three moves where you're straight up and down, right? Like single whip and left forward. You're up and down because you have this, forward back energy going, right? And so in terms of the footwork, you were at a ball touch, empty stance. However low you were, you come up and then you step out to a bow stance. So that's pretty straightforward in terms of footwork, right? So you're empty stance, however low you are, you stand up, step out, heel ball toe, bend knee. In terms of the hands, I'll do it again in the direction that you would be doing it. Then I'm going to turn around so you can see the hands, okay? So in the direction you would be doing it, if I'm here, it looks like this. Okay, so again, in this direction, if I am here, I come up. And then as my hand turns, this hand helps it up. So in terms of the coordination, okay, so what the right hand does is the right hand is here, it comes up, when it is about straight across, it starts turning. And then it gets up to about here, and then it pulls back. And where is it when it's here? When you're looking at it from this way, it's about 1/5 distance from your face, okay? And in this dimension, if you are peeking out the side, like peeking out, just looking toward the right, you would be looking through your tiger's mouth. So that's where your hand is positioned up and down, right? You can see through your tiger's mouth. Okay? So that's how you position the right. The left, when you're coming up, what happens is when your hand gets to here, okay, about straight out from your shoulder, your left hand attaches to the right, okay? I don't know if you can see here. Can you see? It attaches to the right behind the wrist. It's here, not too far back, but here. And then as this one turns out, this pushes up. And how far up does it go? It goes up so that when the right comes back, it's at the right position. So it's coming straight back in order to get to that final position. So that's how high you want to lift it, so that you can move it back. Okay? So what happens here is that you have the energy going both ways. So when you're coming up, you're attaching. And then as you push up, as you get to the top, you step. Then you're going to separate. So when you bend knee, you're separating. Can you see that? So that's how the timing works. So you're coming here, you're coming up. You attach. You keep pushing up, step, separate. So from here, you're coming up. When you get to a round level, you attach. Then you keep going up. When you reach the top, you step, separate. Now, the important thing is when you're coming up, keep your arm relatively straight, okay? Don't bend it too soon, okay? When you're coming up, you're attaching it relatively straight, because when you're pushing up, step, you want to have something to go forward and something to go back. If you have already bent, you have nothing to go back, right? So you have to be relatively straight, move to the top, and separate. Okay, so that's how the timing works. You're coming here, you're coming up. When you're here, you attach. Keep pushing up, turning the right hand, step when you reach the top, then forward and separate. So as always, there's yin and yang, right? When you one forward, one back, right? So here you're coming up, the right hand is turning, attach, push, separate. Any questions on that? Is that pretty clear?
I'm glad that you clarified the actual attachment. I hadn't been doing that. I appreciate the clarity.
Yeah, because it's pushing up.
Yeah.
You're pushing up and then separate.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. So this takes a little bit of coordination, because as you come up, there's an attach point. Keep pushing up as you turn, step. And the end position, okay, if you were able to look, you would see through your tiger's mouth, and you're looking straight through the tiger's mouth of your other hand. Okay, so your gaze goes that way because you're, pulling back and attacking your opponent. Okay? Any questions? Should we go on to the next guy? All right. The next one is turn body choplistics. And it is more complicated. It has the footwork that's like single whip in mirror image. So if you remember single whip, I'm doing single whip, I'm at push, remember? And if you're looking at my footwork, I'm turning 135 degrees. And then I'm stepping out to a bow stance, right? Mm-hmm. Now do it in reverse. Okay, so in the direction in which you would be doing it, you are at fan through the back. You're here. Let me show you what the whole move looks like, and then we'll break it down. Okay, turn body chop with fist looks like this. You're turning. Okay, so footwork. If you are you're essentially going up from a bow stance this way to a bow stance that way. So you're at a bow stance. You shift back. You turn. You pivot. You step out to a bow stance. And that's it. Bow stance to bow stance. Okay? Now the trick is that this is kind of a two-step move. Okay, so what happens here is you have a bow stance and you're turning, you shift your weight back and you make a bow stance. But in the interim, you're going to have what feels like a heel touch empty stance. And then you go into a bow stance. Okay, so you have this intermediate where you step and you have a heel touch. So you have 30% on your heel, and then you get the rest of the 60%. Okay, so you have that kind of two steps in terms of the footwork. Hands. Okay, I'm going to show you in this direction. So if I'm at fan through the back, what I'm doing with the right hand is I am coming around and making a circle. So can you see? I'm making a circle. Then when my weight shifts back to the left, I'm going to make a fist. Then when I step, then add that 30%, that's how my chop gets its energy, okay? Step, 30% gives me that energy. And then you're going to go to a strike. So this goes into your hip crease. Okay, so the right hand you're going to circle on the top. So you can see that this is a circle, right? And then when you're facing toward the corner and you pull your weight back, you make your fist and release your foot. Then step, step, and then strike. So you essentially, once you position that heel, you do an empty stance and then a bow stance with the bow stance footwork. So it's empty stance with a bow stance footwork, which you have done before when you did rollback. Remember? When you were here and you did rollback, you were in bow stance, but when you're coming back, you're actually empty stance in terms of your weight distribution, even though your feet have not changed, right?
Oh my goodness, that's true.
Right? You moved your weight 70% to the back, but you did not move your feet. So in principle, this is kind of like that. Okay.
That's
you
very
have, but you know, you have the stance of a bow stance, but the weight of an empty stance. Okay. And then you move into the weight of a bow stance. Okay. So because there's so much turning, it's hard to separate just the hands or just the feet because the position is all relative to your body. Okay, so I'm going to do it in this direction. So think about when you turn your left foot, start circling your hands. Circle. And when your foot goes to the corner, then you're going to move your weight back. When you move your weight back, two things are going to happen with that weight shift. You're going to release the right foot and you're going to make a right fist. Okay? And then when you step out, step 30%. Then when you move to a bow stance in terms of the weight distribution, you strike. So you are striking from the shoulder, just like a brush knee. Remember when you do a brush knee, you're striking from the shoulder straight out. It's the same strike. So if you're doing like, let's say you're a right brush knee. Okay. So if you're here, strike, right? Strike. Or or on the left side or on the right side, you're going to move your hand here and strike. Okay. So this is the same kind of strike, but your right hand, when you're doing the left strike, when you're doing brush knee, your right hand is right in front of your hip. Here, you're going to, you just did a chop, right? So you're just going to move that fist to where you would have the hand, right? So in terms of the motion, it's the same. It's just that your hand happens to be a fist. So here, instead of this, you have this. But it's a relatively the same position relative to your body. So when you're doing here, one of the things you have to be careful of is you are turning. Okay. So you want to retain that body shape. So what you don't want to do is come out. Okay. What that means is that your arm is ahead of your body. See, if your body is turning, your hands will retain this round shape. If your hands get ahead of your body, then you're going to have that pull that causes your chest to stick out. Do you see what I'm saying? So think about having a nice round circle. So if you were just doing the hands, you would be here and you would be like this, right? It's just round. Okay. Except there's footwork that turns your body around, right? So when you're here, your foot is turning your body around. So when your foot gets to the corner, you shift weight to the back foot and you do two things, right? You make your fist and release this foot. Then step. Three things happen here. This hand comes to the shoulder and this hand chops. And you kind of finish by putting that 30% in the shoulder. So the difference between a strike and a chop is the chop is with the back of your fist. Okay, so your motion here is when you're here and you come here, you're going to make your fist and chop forward. Okay, so the energy is like this across your body, right? So it's here. So if I were to do it in this direction, I'm turning. I move my weight back, release the front foot. So let me do that again. So if I'm here, I turn. I'm circling. I'm turning my foot. Now, release the front foot. Make a fist. Pull in the front foot. One in, one out, and step. And finish with that 30%. Then 60% goes in front as I strike. Okay, once again, what happens is turn. Shift weight to the back. Make fist. Release front foot. Step. You're stepping, and once you get that 30%, that is the finish of your chop. Then you flatten that foot and move 60% of the weight to the front foot.
So yes. When your hand comes back like this arm shouldn't go back like that.
It should not go back.
Yeah, yes. It just comes to the side.
It is to the side. So think about when you're right brush knee, your hand is here, you have it here instead. It's just an up fist, but it's in the same position.
Got it.
Yeah, so think right brush knee, make an up fist. So let me do it again this way so that I end up facing you. So if I'm here, I'm turning. I make a fist as I shift my weight back and release the front foot. One up, one front and back. And then shift weight. So if I am doing it in the direction you would be doing it, it would look like this. Turn, circle, make fist and release the front foot. One in, one out. Strike. Any questions on that one? It's a coordination thing, right? Okay, so remember you're starting here. If you are looking through your tiger's mouth in the front, and if you could look 90 degrees to the right, you would be looking through this tiger's mouth. Okay, then when you're turning, you're circling. One up, one down. When you get to the end, you shift weight back, make your fist, release the front foot. One front, one back. Strike. Any questions? Good. So from here, turn. Circle. Shift back, make your fist. Hand to the shoulder and chop. Strike. Actually, your hand comes to the shoulder at the same time you're chopping. That's the part of the coordination that's hard. So when you're coming around here, you're here, you make your fist, you shift your weight back, and it's, okay. So it's one forward and one back at the same time. So don't cheat your right hand. So when you're here, make your full circle down here.
I'm not sweating yet. I did get pretty warm doing this one.
Yes, because you work every part of your body, right? You're here, you're turning. You're shifting back, making your fist in and out. Strike.
That's really pretty. Yeah.
So the trick is to make all your circles, keep your body shape, and get your timing right. That's all there is to it.
So easy does it.
So I'm going to do it in the same direction as you. So here we go. Fan through the back. Turn. Make your fist. In and out. Strike. So think of how the energy works when you're here. Look at the right hand. So it's this way, okay? So don't like stutter. You're coming across and striking like that, okay? So it's that. And then that's why I wanted to make sure that you made the bottom half of your circle. So here, if you don't make the complete bottom half, you're not low enough so that when you come to strike, you have enough distance to go. You see, if you basically don't make a low enough circle here, you're not going to have enough to make that chop. So make a big circle. So actually think of your right arm as a mace, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fling it out. Fling it out, okay?
Yeah.
I like that.
Body. Well, this is like a hit, and this is like a push almost, you know. It's way more.
So this is considered a chop, and this is considered a strike.
So this one is where the most energy is anyway. And I think
that is the most energy. Like and the reason is your body shifts with that one. Okay, think about it this way. Here, when I'm here and I make my fist, this is only an empty stance. This is a bow stance.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Pressure. Got it. Oh man, I never saw that whole thing in before. So this is all new information in my brain, which is in competition with all the old practice right now. So I have to think it through as well when I'm doing it. And, you know, sometimes I'll get into the form and I'll be doing stuff and I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing. So it's...
Well, that's what's supposed to happen.
I know.
Except you're supposed to have all this right information in your head and it's supposed to flow out automatically.
Darn right. That's what practice is for. But I mean, it's just like, oh, when you get this new piece of information, you go, well, now for 35 years now, I've been thinking the other way. Now I have to think this way.
Yes.
Apparently there's a part of the brain that goes right through the center. That's what occupies the brain when it's sort of daydreaming or at rest. And I think that that's what you're going for. That instead of thinking the right arm is going to close into a fist at this moment with all those words, that the words go away and you get into an empty mind, almost like an empty.
And it's automatic. It becomes automatic.
Yeah.
So let's practice a couple more times and then we'll do it from the beginning. How about that?
Okay.
So I'm going to do it once in the same direction as you and once facing you. Okay. So this is the direction you would be doing it at. Okay. This is the end of fan through the back. Okay. Turn body chop with this. Turn. Circle your arms. Turn your left foot. Make your fist as you shift your weight back. Release the front foot. One front, one back as you chop. Strike as you shift weight. So doing it facing you so that you can see the hands. At the end of fan through the back. Circle your arms. Shift your weight back, make your fist. Release the front foot. In and out as you chop. Strike as you shift weight.
At the end of the strike, though, are you in a 30-70 or?
No, at the end of the strike, you are 60-40. You are in a
40, a
standard bow stance.
Oh.
Okay, so at the chop, you're a 30-70. 70 here, 30 here.
Yeah.
But when you strike, then 60 goes here and you're striking.
60 goes to your right.
60 goes to the front foot.
To the front foot. Gotcha. Okay. So you really shift your weight at that point. It's quite.
You really shift your weight. That's what gives you the power of the strike, is your body shifts. So here, you're at fan through the back. You are circling. You're making your fist here as you shift your weight back. What your right hand path is going to look like is diagonal. It's going to be diagonal. And then strike. So if I were going to do it from here, so I'm circling. I'm shifting my weight back, making my fist, then releasing the front foot. See, if you think diagonal, you can see that the energy really goes on that chop, and you really get that mace effect. You're flinging your fist out, you know? So from here, circle, shift back, make fist, release foot, front and back, strike. Okay. Shall we try it from the beginning? Okay, from cross hand. Here we go. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Shift right. Turn the left foot past the corner. Shift your weight back, separate your arms, pull in the right foot. Swing, step, brush, strike, Roll back. Circle your arms as you shift your weight back. Turn. Press. Pull in the right. Attach the left. Press forward. Push. Flatten your arms. Square up your shoulders. Pull over a ball. Hands in front of your chest. Push to shoulder level. Fist under elbow. Shift back. Flatten your hands. Turn and pull. Right foot goes to 12 o'clock. Press down, release the left foot, ward off with the left hand, push out with the right. Step to the corner as you ward off. Step parallel with the right as you grab. Pull, pivot the left foot. Make your fist, change your footwork. Pull up and punch. Repulse monkey. 1. Swing, step. Hand to the shoulder, turn and strike. 2. Swing, step. Hand to the shoulder, turn and strike. 3. Swing, step. Hand to the shoulder, turn and strike. Diagonal flying. Turn. Pull in the right foot. Step and close. Pivot the left foot and open. Raise hands and step forward. Shift weight to the right. Pull in the left. Circle your arms as you pivot on the ball of the right. Root the right heel and close. White crane spreads its wings. Turn your hands. Pull down. Shift weight to the back. Circle your arms. Step and close. Turn. Step and spread your wings. Left brush knee. Turn your hands. Swing, step. Brush. Strike. Needle at C bottom. Yield forward. Pull in the right foot. Come back. Push off the heel of the left. Change your footwork. Sink down. Fan through the back. Come up. Hand left attaches to right. Push up. Step at the top. Fan through the back. Turn body chop with fist. Circle your arms as you turn your left foot. When you reach the end, shift your weight back to the left. Make your fist, release the right. Forward and back. Strike. How did that feel? Okay. Are there any parts that you want to work on? Yes. Okay, let's do a quick thing on Embrace Tiger, Return to Mountain. Okay, so when I'm at cross hands and I turn to the right, I put my weight on the right so that I can turn my left on my left heel so the foot passes the corner. Then I shift all my weight back and separate my hands. I pull in the right foot, and essentially this feels like a right brush knee. So from here, you shift right, you turn, you separate your arms. Then essentially the right hand circles this way and the left hand swings out. So when you're here, swing, one up, one down, and step. Brush, strike. Okay? Then in terms of the rollback, don't forget to get this circular motion. Okay? So when you're here, you're going to as you're moving back, you're going to circle so that you end up at rollback position, and then you're going to turn. So it's going to feel like the second half of the rollback from the first section. Remember when you did the rollback from the first section, you went from corner and then 90 degrees to the other corner. This one, you're here and you're here. And when you do rollback, you're going to circle. And here you get into the rollback hand shape and your weight is in the back, but you're only turning 45 degrees to get to the side. So it's like the second half of the rollback in the first section. You see what I mean? And then the press and push are the same, except they're to the corner. The other thing I want to remind you of for the Embrace Tiger Return to Mountain is to step out enough. So what happens here is when I'm here and I step out, I'm inside the corner, but when I turn my foot, I have to have shoulder width. The thing that very often happens is that people step here instead. And then when they put their foot in, they're here, right? One foot is crashing into the other one. So it feels wider than you think when you're stepping out. Good. But you see what I mean by it feeling wider. Okay. So thank you very much for coming to class. Practice, practice.
Thank you.
And I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Rita.
You're welcome.